Hello, Paso. Welcome to another segment of Local Icons. And today's guest is a very special guest because he's an international recording artist, but he's also a professional SAG actor. That means he's part of the union. He's been part of big films in the nation. So we want to learn more about Mr. Matthew Johnson. Hey, my man, how are you? Hey, nice seeing you again because we met before. Have a seat, have a seat. We were talking right before when you arrived that we actually have had an encounter in the past, huh?
Man, we have.
Yeah.
It's on the Minor Palooza, man. Like when I was doing rehearsals, I was working with one of the dancers. I worked at your dance studio.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, man.
So how you been?
Man, I've been like all around the world, you know, traveling, coming back and forth to El Paso, doing my thing, and just like, you know, expanding.
You have some big news today. Particularly today, but I want you to save that for a little bit.
Alrighty.
This is a segment that's dedicated to inspire and motivate, you know, our community and people all around the world, in fact.
Yeah, man.
But let's start off with, you know, who you are, where Matthew Johnson was born or raised, and how you come about, you know, to become a singer.
So I'm originally from Staten Island, New York. I'm of Jamaican American background.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And I just love music from when I was a child, and I was raised in New York City in the 5 boroughs, going to different concerts, you know, music schools, Dr. Trogan's music school and what have you. And I just started from the age of 14 professionally, and then I had a love for music since I was 10.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, so you started off young.
Yeah.
You say you were born
in Staten Island, New York.
Staten Island, New York. I've been to New York once, but never went over.
The bridge, the
bridge,
yeah. Yeah, man.
Yeah. And so what brought you to El Paso? How did you end up in El Paso?
So my dad actually did residencies here in the Juarez in the East Bay system of Mexico and El Paso back in the early 90s. So he brought my family here. He was like, you know, there's a hidden gem. Like once I retire, I want to go down to El Paso. And they had some beautiful homes here, especially on the west side where I live right now. Okay. And we just fell in love with the place. And from then, we've been here ever since.
Wow, so what high school did you graduate from?
St. Peter's Boys High School in Staten Island.
St. Peter's Boys.
I came here at 21.
Okay, so you got here way after high school, huh?
Yeah, bro.
Well, and what was it a culture shock for you?
A big one, man. Of course it was a culture shock.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
man.
so do you deal with, is there a Hispanic community where you're from?
To be honest with you, there was everybody in New York City. I've dealt with Mexicans, Puerto Ricans, Cubans, and
I think Puerto Ricans dominate the Hispanic market over there. Am I right?
Cubans and Dominicans too, and Puerto Ricans. All of them say. But Puerto Ricans, like they're the big screen people like J-Lo from the Bronx and Mark Anthony and what have you, and Fat Joe from the Bronx as well. Big Pun, you know what I mean? So they're all from those places.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
So you get here, you come from New York, you're the new kid in the block.
Yeah, man.
And you already had the music. You know.
I already had the music in me, and I just brought my flavor to the borderland, the Jamaican American vibe, and that's what I've been doing ever since. And El Paso welcomed me with open arms. They gave me opportunities to perform on Minor Palooza, things like Fiesta de las Flores with the Latin Soul Project. There were like some older guys from the Mexican community that welcomed me in, and I got to do the place at the Coliseum, the Fiesta de las Flores.
Yeah, Fiesta de las Flores.
So I did it there, and I was a guest artist on there, but they showed me love. They're kind of like a pop R&B mixed with a dance hall sound. And Neon Desert welcomed me in. You know, I did that. I did Generation 2000 at the Convention Center. I did that over there, and then I also did like the channel ABC, KVIA.
Yeah.
Noon shows. I've done all that. So
you've done all that. You've been around, man.
Yeah, man.
Isn't our community a beautiful community? I mean, it welcomes anybody with open arms. And,
yeah, man.
And it's a home. Yeah, this is why I think a lot of people that end up leaving, myself included. I left, you know, at the age of 17 to California to do the whole modeling and acting, you know, industry. But I came back, and I found my niche here. So it's home. We're gonna needless to say.
Bro, they always say you gotta conquer your home market first and then expand, and you did that, bro. Like you own in 2 places here. You're opening a company and doing like, I remember when I first met you, I was like, this guy is like a bodybuilder, and I found out you were a bodybuilder.
Yeah, it was at one point. Well, Mr. Matt, I wanna dive into quickly on your drive and your inspiration behind music, because you have two backgrounds, two cultures, and I want to know, I want to know about your artists that inspire you. I want to know about, your culture, how that inspires you. What you lean on the most, because I was listening to some of your music, and it sounds on the Jamaican side.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Me have to talk in my dialect. You zim it. The Jamaican thing I blow. You zim it. Matty Johnson in the place. But my mom, she's from Jamaica, and my parents actually met in Jamaica. They've been married for 45 years now, but they met in the 70s in Kingston. And we got married, got together. But that side of the family is a major influence on me. They took care of me when my dad was doing his residencies as a doctor. And yeah, man, I just loved reggae music, roots reggae music, dancehall, people like Sean Paul, Buju Banton, people like Steel Pulse, Bob Marley, that's the stuff that I love. But I also like pop and R&B and electronic music as well, so I combine those together to get my sound.
Yeah, to get your sound, your signature, right?
Yeah, man.
Your signature. And what has been some of your barriers and that you in the music industry, or maybe just in El Paso? What's some of the barriers that you've had to overcome?
So, I mean, as an independent artist, because I'm not yet signed to a major label yet, so as an independent artist, you have to go through a lot of different barriers to get your network going, to get your fan base going, to build up to the verification so that the platforms such as IG get to know you more and like bonify your brand.
You're verified already.
I'm now verified for the last like 6 or 7 years, but prior to that, when I first started, nobody knew me, nobody knew who I was. I had to go on the grind just like everybody else. You got to start from scratch. But that was the barrier. I didn't have a machine behind me to really push me to that next point that some of these artists, the younger artists than me, have behind them. Like some of the people from here that just got recently signed 4 years ago, they have the machine, RCA and all these big things. But that's been like the barrier like internationally. But here in El Paso, I would have to say that being of Jamaican background, and this is more of a Latino background, you have to kind of integrate the reggaeton into your sound, or the Spanish vibe. So I had to do that recently to kind of blend more into the vibe here. So that's a little bit more of a natural barrier here in El Paso, but I've overcome that. I just did a song that was just released earlier this year called GWAN GET IT. Now we got the Christmas release actually dropping today.
Hey,
GWAN
there it
GET IT
is.
Christmas, yeah, you know what I'm saying? So we got Latin Grammy nominee Cito Rocks on there. That's actually from Miami. He's Cuban descent, but he was raised with Pitbull down in Dade County. He went on tour with Pitbull, and I just got him to jump on the track. He blessed the track, and that's more integrated me into the Latin community here.
That's awesome. Yeah, let's take this time because I want everybody to see this. GWAN GET IT now.
Yeah, man.
Let's go check this video out from Mr. Matthew Johnson.
To the rhythm, dirty wine and a flex, so she dripping. My girl just a walk, so she winning. My girl love it, turn me on. From night to the early man, feel it when things are gone. No time she a well before. She a dancing a club all night. Rock it up, turn it up all right. Good vibes and a drink tonight. Sexy girl, we look for life. One with it, my girl. Rock my world, want it, my girl. Rock my world, my girl, get it on. Yeah. Every time you see a girl, go and get it on, my girl. Oh, you're sexy from the bar.
And there you have it, El Paso. GWAN GET IT with Mr. Matthew Johnson. Tell me where Shaw Claire comes around. How did he come to play? Because you were mentioning that you know, he played a big part of it.
I mean, yo, he's a Canadian hip hop icon. It's a blessing to have him, you know, grace my track. And he's from Toronto, Canada, obviously from Scarborough.
Love Toronto. If you haven't been there a couple of times. Woo.
Bless up T Dot the 6. But an investor of mine introduced me to Chocolate because she had booked him for a show up there in Toronto for like a banking banquet. And she said, you know what, I got somebody to introduce you to. I want to introduce you to Chocolate. And I never had heard of him before because, you know, I'm American and stuff like that. And I'm new up there to Toronto. I've been to Toronto before for Caravana, but never for long periods of time. So I went to Free Play Toronto, met him, I seen him perform, and he was such a down-to-earth guy. And he was like, yeah, man, yo, you know, he's Jamaican background too, actually. He's Canadian Jamaican. And he was like, yeah, man, you know, anytime, bro, let's do a track, bro. I would love to do a track. We got into the studio. He laid down the track. He was fire. You know, he lived up to his legend, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it was history from there. And then we had Cedar Rocks on there as well.
How long did it take for you guys to come to the recording studio after you met him?
It was around 2 weeks.
Okay,
2 weeks.
So fast turnaround.
Yeah, 2 weeks. And it was at the investor's building because she had a studio in the basement of her building right there in Toronto. And he came through with his manager, Danny. And everything was cool, man.
That's awesome. You work with other artists. Name a few.
I worked with people like on the acting tip as well.
Oh.
Grammy winning reggae band, the legend, what's his name? David Hines, bro, from Steel Pulse. I've worked with him on his video, Dora No Return. It's on YouTube. And I've also opened up for Buju Banton, one of like the biggest like dancehall reggae, roots reggae icons, you could say. You know what I mean? Big up to Buju Banton and Jazeel, his son. And some others I've worked with. Computer Paul Henton. He's a Grammy-nominated producer down in Jamaica. He's worked with Sean Paul and stuff. I worked with him on a few records.
Mention also your acting experience.
So
name of a few movies, because you briefly earlier you said Mean Girls. Or
Gossip Girl.
Gossip Girls.
I've done more like primetime TV and commercials and stuff like that more than the movie stuff. I've done a few movies, but I've done like Go Army commercials. Actually, right here in El Paso, a national Go Army commercial.
Oh, wow.
And I was one of the main leads there with. He's Lieutenant Colonel Caggins now, but at the time he was Major Miles Caggins, and he was based here in Fort Bliss.
Wow.
Yeah, man, and he served under Barack Obama's administration.
You've had your share of accolades, man.
Bro, and he chose me. I was like, they could have chose anybody else on that commercial. There's actual military people here. I'm not military. And he was like, where are you from? I was like, I'm from Staten Island, New York. He was like, what are you doing down here in El Paso? I was like, oh, I mean, I love the homes here. And we bought real estate here. Oh, man, like, you know, tell me more. And then, you know, they called me to the callback and I got the part.
There it is.
Yeah, man.
What's next for you? And let everybody know what's next and the drop that you have today.
So right now what we're doing, we got this new single. It's a remix single. It's my first Christmas single, a GWAN Get It Christmas. It drops today.
There it is.
And also we have the Jamerican in the 915 web series. The 3rd episode drops today, and it's a Christmas holiday kind of episode. So you can go check that out on YouTube and on my IGTV at MatthewJMusic and at Matthew Johnson YouTube and at MatthewJMusic.com.
Wow. You got all the platforms. You got
to get it right, man. Got to get it right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man.
Well, that's coming up. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 to 10 years?
So right now, currently, I'm working on an EP and then an album. Okay. So I want to get that big album out there. I want to get that shopped and get even bigger collaborations. So we're working on that to kind of solidify my brand in the music game. And we're gonna have like reggaeton, the Caribbean vibes, the Jamaican vibes, the pop R&B vibes, all on one album. So that's where I see myself touring the world, getting together with bigger artists that I've, you know, met during my journeys across the world, you know what I'm saying? And just going further into the acting as well, because we're doing the web series.
And who are you doing the web series with, or is that on
So right now, I got my agent / manager here.
There it is, his agent's over here, guys.
Yeah, I mean,
what's his name? Aaron. All right, Aaron's here. The manager's here as well.
Yeah, man.
Who's producing this web series?
So it's Hazy Rod. So it's basically me and Hazy Rod, and he's also like a photographer, videographer that my agent and manager actually manages as well. And he's actually producing it, and then we just come up with the ideas on the fly.
Okay.
And he gets it, he edits it, and there it is. And we're just trying to put out the creativity, and then we're also doing stuff to keep people safe. We're telling people to wear their mask, wear your mask, you don't know, and all them things there. And then, you know what I mean? So we're spreading awareness while having fun, and just flowing the creative juices there. That's what we're doing.
Speaking of creative, you can turn on that switch on and off with the Jamaican.
Yeah, man. I'm born in New York City. Everybody knows New York City is a melting pot. They got a lot of Caribbean people there. They got a lot of Latino people, Jewish, Albanian, Italian.
Everything.
I'm from Staten Island, so I can turn on the Staten Island accent too. I can do the Italian. I can do that too. Forget about it. I can do that too. Black Italian, black Sicilian. You know what I mean? Forget about it.
Yeah.
I can do that too.
The mafia, that typical mafia.
Bro, I was born and raised in Staten Island, so all the kids I grew up with was all Italian.
Wow.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
That's crazy. All right, Mr. Matthew Johnson, it's been a pleasure having you here. But before we sign off, we'd like to play a little game with you.
Okay,
and it's called This or That. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, here we go. And it's a this or that type of game. It shouldn't be, it should be quick on the fly.
Let's go.
All right, you ready?
I'm ready.
Sour or salty?
Sour or salty? Salty.
Salty it is. Okay. Tall and lean or short and stocky?
Tall and lean.
Tall and lean. Okay. Family run or chain restaurant?
I would have to say family run, due to the times, you know what I'm saying?
Yes. Silk or flannel?
Silk.
Silk. Okay. Perfect teeth or perfect hair?
Perfect teeth.
I think you're there, man. I think you got that part.
Man.
I think you got both of them right.
Yes, sir. That's why I GWAN,
Oh, this is going to be too easy.
What's good?
Kenny G or Bob Marley?
Bob Marley, for sure. You don't know the Bob Marley thing, go. You know.
Exactly. Here we go. Bikini or one piece?
Bikini.
Yeah,
Bikini.
I agree. Asking or answering?
Asking.
Asking. And old music or new music?
Old music.
Old music. Yeah, you gotta
Old
give the props.
Yeah, man.
Taxi driver or bus driver?
Taxi driver.
Taxi driver. So you gotta take the taxi?
Yeah, brother.
Yeah.
I'm from New York City, man.
Yeah,
You got the taxi cabs when you go in Manhattan.
Yeah. In reference to fashion, stripes or polka dots? Yeah, I think we know about the stripes, absolutely. And nude beach or family beach?
Maybe nude. Interesting. You know what I mean? Because Jamaica got hedonism. They got hedonism beach there. It's cool.
All right. And married or single?
I'm single right now, but I would say eventually married, brother.
You want to get married. All right, that's good. Ladies, did you guys hear that? There it is.
Right, you know what I mean?
Traditional dating or modern dating?
Traditional.
Traditional?
Yeah.
You're old school, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. And morning cuddling or night cuddling?
I like the morning cuddling. That's good. Yeah, I'll go with that.
Hot or beautiful?
Beautiful.
Okay.
Yeah.
And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. This or that, Mr. Matthew Johnson.
Yeah, done know.
Oh man, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, and we hope you guys enjoyed this time with Mr. Matthew Johnson. Check out all his Instagram and Facebook and YouTube channels so you can find out more of what he has in store. See you guys next time. You guys have a blessed week.